Hey, what's going on, fellow adventurers? Just wanted to keep you guys updated about what is going on with that whole She Beverage mess. Now, this was filed a few weeks ago, March 28th. Apparently, Lupe Rose is suing Joseph Collins and a bunch of other people for contractual fraud. Now, this is a very interesting situation. It's very funny, actually. This is going to get thrown out just by looking at it. But, I've known this information now for a few weeks, and there's been some other important developments, which we will cover, but just wanted to kind of touch on this for just a few minutes. And so it looks like she filed a lawsuit, contractual lawsuit, because they didn't do what they were supposed to do. Don't exactly know what that is, unless it's pretty much committing more fraud. But it has Collins, Joseph Jr., Hudson Herb, Punch TV Network, Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles, Urban Television Network Corp, or URBT, and Vierna Era. Now, if there was any money transferred over, which they claim it was like $54 million, whatever the case might be, shouldn't they have already paid that out to investors if this was the case? And if she's filing a lawsuit, shouldn't the SEC have some of this information already in terms of whatever it was? So, yeah, again, this is just to kind of quickly update it. There's always some tomfoolery going on with the members of She Beverage, Lupe Rose, and several others. Trust me, the next video I do on this is going to be pretty deep, pretty informative, because we have some additional context that's been made, some new information has been found out about Lupe Rose, as well as some of the other additional individuals who have been a party to this. And there's going to be a lot of questions that need to be answered, a lot of questions that need to be asked, because this didn't happen overnight. There's just way too many questions. And the other interesting thing is, because I'm sure you guys already know, Lupe Rose is filing a lawsuit on behalf of She Beverage, or I guess just herself, even though it was actually She Beverage that supposedly went into this deal with Joseph Collins. But there's a problem with this. And the problem with this is that judgment that the SEC issued against Kat Durden, Lupe Rose, and Sonia Shelby was that they can no longer be officers of any company. Yet you see her filing a lawsuit on behalf of herself, which would also have to be She Beverage, because that's the entity in which she did business under. I don't know. This is a mess. This is a real big mess. So I don't know the actual court date filing on here. Not the court date filing, but the actual date that this is supposed to be in court. This was filed in Lancaster, California. I think she also filed because she couldn't. There's for a fee waiver for court fees or whatever the case might be. But make sure you hit the like button, notification bell. I'll keep you guys updated in terms of exactly how this goes. But this is a really funny case. I mean, imagine somebody who commits fraud going after another guy who's being sued for fraud. The judge is going to have some fun with this. I don't see this spending too much time in court. And I believe she is asking for, what was it here? Let's see here. The actual judgment amount that she is looking for is, I'm going to pull it up here. I don't want to guess again. I saw it. It was somewhere around the amount of, was it $10 million, $50 million, $100 million? I don't remember what the actual number is. It's listed in here somewhere. But it's some outrageous number. So basically, she's using the judgment that the SEC put against her, as well as, okay, so yeah, this proves that she's representing herself as She Beverage, which she, based upon my understanding, she's not supposed to do, but she's filing under the agreement or under the entity of She Beverage. So it says here that non-delivery of monies promised, breach of contract, and the subsequent manipulation. She Beverage and its shareholders non-delivery of $150,000 as stipulated in the asset purchase agreement. Interesting. She Beverage shareholders stock placement within the stipulated 6 months. I can barely read this. Mr. Collins requested an additional 6 months, citing the Securities and Exchange Commission's request $54 million worth of assets, including real estate, vehicles, and equipment. Says here the plaintiff has performed all obligations to defendant except those obligations plaintiff was prevented or excused from performing. So this is her complaint of fraud, filing it on behalf of herself, filing it on behalf of She Beverage, which again I don't believe she's allowed to do because she can't take on the office of an officer. None of the ladies can. So I wonder if this itself. Okay, yeah, here it is right here. She's seeking damages in the amount of $100 million. She Beverage wasn't even worth that much. They defrauded people of $15 million. So I really wonder what the judge is going to say about this, because I don't know the legalities, the direct legalities of filing a lawsuit based upon fraud. You're convicted of fraud, got arrested for fraud, out on bail, and now you're going off of another guy who's filed for fraud. So how can you bring a fraudulent matter to court and cite anything? So I wonder if somebody can be arrested on the spot for a fraudulent court filing. Because if you can't represent a company, which you're not supposed to do, and the methods in which you use to establish your company by defrauding investors, she's going to have to explain everything in court. Again, everything that the SEC found out, she's going to have to do that. There's really no victims here. The only victims are the investors. And so considering that there were no assets from She Beverage to, you know what, this is pretty much a fraudulent filing, because Punch TV, Joseph Collins already verified that She Beverage had no assets at the time and that there was no transfer. So, and then of course you had additional investors invest initially in She Beverage, and they thought that they were transferring their investment over to Punch TV. There was never a transfer over to begin with. So that in itself was fraudulent, you know, including the emails, text messages, and phone calls. I don't even know why they sent that stuff electronically, telling people that if you don't invest or transfer your shares over, you're going to lose your money. But there was never any monies transferred over, or there was no assets available. So I don't know. We'll really have to wait and see. But I really would like to know, what are the legalities of somebody filing a fraudulent court document in regards to this, because they have no groundworks, or not groundworks, but she has no grounds to file anything. It's definitely not personal. It is a business, and suing for $100 million when you're arrested for fraud to begin with. This is just freaking crazy. And like I said, this is just the tip of the iceberg. There's some more information that we'll be releasing here. Few days, few weeks, who knows when it might be. But I just thought it was prevalent to keep you guys updated as to what's going on. And you guys can look this up yourself. Just type in Lupe Rose versus Joseph Collins. And I have no idea why Roscoe's Chicken and Waffle is even involved in here. And she filed this on her own. This was not filed as part of... she didn't use an attorney or anything. She filed this herself, which is also more interesting. So we'll really just have to see what happens with that. But if I hear any more information along with everything else, you guys will be the first to find out. So I will catch you guys later. Peace out. Have a great day. Bye-bye.